Hello there, this is Raj with Milan, and today I am going to be talking about my top 10 coasters. Just a reminder that this is only my opinion, not anyone else's. So I'm going to be talking in depth about why I like these coasters, so take example, if I've got a coaster at number 10, I'll be talking a bit about that, but at the number 1 spot, I'll be talking more and more about it. So, I hope you enjoy my rankings, and I'm going to kick off the list in a minute. Just remember that I have not ridden too many roller coasters. I have got 45 credits, including some in Spain, one at Disney World in Paris, and most of them in the UK. So yeah, I hope you enjoy my list. At the number 10 spot, we have got Nemesis Inferno at Fort Park. I'm going to tell you all the reasons why I like this coaster. Number 1, it's intense. Number 2, it's snappy. Number 3, it's an invert. I love them. And number 4, it's at a park that I love. So let's go off with the experience. So first, you dispatch into a pre-drop, which go into a tunnel of mist, and it cools your body off. Then you go up the lift hill. I think it's 96 foot. Then you go into the vertical loop, and that can be intense sometimes. It may not be built into the terrain like Nemesis, but it is still really fun. And yeah, I rode this this was the first ever roller coaster I ever did at Fort Park, and I was not disappointed to it. And this is one of my favourites at Fort Park ever since. So yeah. At the number 9 spot, we have got Stealth at Fort Park. I'm going to tell you why. Number 1, the launch. It is intense and it is snappy and it gets you by surprise. Number 2 is the top hat. When you go up it and you're near the top and you're on back row, it feels like you're just not going to make it over. Number 3, the view is nice if you're up there for a while. Like if you're near the front. If you're near the back, you just get whipped straight down there. But at the front, it's a good view. Number 3 is the vibe around the Stealth. It plays like 60s music and I love it. Gives me such a vibe before going on the ride. And number 4 is the station. And I'm surprising me saying this because the station has literally not a single bit of theming. But I do like the launch effects, like the traffic lights come on, smoke come on your face. And fun fact, when it says 3, 2, 1, go, 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 you don't launch straight away. So it gets you by surprise. So there's my number 9 roller coaster ever. At the number 8 spot, we have got the Wicker Man at Alton Towers. I know this is a family coaster, but oh my god, on the back row, it feels like a thrill coaster. It's got everything you want: airtime, intensity, speed, and also it's got a good theme. It's got nice smoke effects, which you can see right there. The pre-show's nice, but the problem is you have to watch it every single time you go on the ride, so it slows it down. But who cares? It's the Wicker Man. It's worth a rate. I would wait so long for this, and you do not understand how much I love this ride. Second best at Alton Towers. At number 7, we have got Icon at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. I really like this ride, but I did think it was a little overrated when I went on it for the first time, though. Number 1, this ride has got some good airtime. It may not be the tallest or the fastest, but it is quite a whippy and an airtimey experience. So, the first launch is, when you're in the queue, it looks slow, but when you're on the ride, it actually is quite punchy. And then you go into that top hat and you get a lot of airtime on it. Then you go through a few curves and then you go through that 0G roll, and that's the place you want to be, on front row for that 0G roll, because you get so much hang time on that. Then you go into the second launch, but the problem is on like back row, you do not feel that launch at all. Then you go into a few more turns and then a few airtime hills. You go into this little outer bank, then a few more curves, and then you go into the brake run. So yeah, I've put this on number 7 because I have had 6 more coasters that I think is better than this ride, and I will get to them right now. At number 6, we have got Dragon Khan at Portaventura. It's a new country to the list. So, before I rode this, I heard reviews saying it was absolutely awful and it was rough. After I got off it, I was shocked. First of all, it's intense. Second of all, I thought it was smooth as butter. And third of all, right now, that 0G roll is the best inversion I've ever experienced in my life. It's snappy. I love this ride. When I did this 15 times in the 6 days I had at the park, including one front row, a few back rows, and a few in the middle. And I'd have to say back row is best. It rips my face off every time. Not literally, but I grey out on this thing, and I love it. And it's even got its neighbour, Shambhala. So yeah, the atmosphere is great, the inversions are great, and it's massive. So that's why I love Dragon Khan so much. So let me get on to the top 5 coasters. At number 5, we have got the Swarm at Thorpe Park. I do not know why, but I love this coaster. Number 1, it is smooth. It's been about 12 years now since it opened, and it is so smooth. Number 2, I used to hate the vests on these rides, and after they don't lock, I've enjoyed this so much more. Number 3, I actually find this ride intense. I actually grey out on it sometimes. Number 4, it's got a lot of head choppers and near miss elements, like the billboard, the everything. And number 5, the theming is fantastic. It's got its own island. The station is a destroyed church. It's got like a police van. It's got a fire truck. It's got a helicopter. It's got a plane engine. It's got everything. So I think this is one of the best rides at Thorpe Park and one of the best in the UK. So if you've been to if you want to go to Thorpe Park, definitely give the Swarm a go. It's worth it. At the number 4 spot, we have got Red Force at Ferrari Land. There is something I need to talk about this coaster. The height and the speed is absolutely outrageous, reaching a height of 367 foot and a speed of 112 miles per hour. Let's talk about the launch. It is insane. Literally, it is mad. That speed on my face, my cheeks were like flipping everywhere because of how fast it was. And I got a front row ride in the dark and I had to wear goggles. Unfortunately, the goggles took the experience away, but I understand why they have them on, but it was still good. Second of all, the height of this thing. When I was at the top, when I looked down, I was like, holy smokes, this is tall. And then we just plunged down. A really fast speed again, make my cheeks flip around. And yeah, so on the video that I'm showing you, I'm on the right hand side with the blue t-shirt on. That is me on Red Force. You could tell by my experience that I absolutely bloody loved it. And yeah. At number 3, we have got Hyperia at Thorpe Park. Now I'm going to say it's not amazing because of how tall and how fast it is. It's the elements on it. So you first start off with a pre-lift section with an outer bank, just like Untamed at Wallaby Holland. And then you head up the 236-foot lift hill, and then you plow down the drop. And I can say I love that drop. You twist to the left, and then after that to the bottom, you head up the Illiman, and then you drop down again, and you go into this like crazy outer bank inversion. I can say I've only done this roller coaster twice. We waited 2 hours for it actually for the first time, and I didn't really find the outer bank like that good. The airtime like wasn't amazing. I've done better airtime elements, and yeah, then you head into the dive stall, which was my first ever stall, and yeah, got a lot of hang time on it on row 6 and 7. So yeah, I want to be near the front to see if I'd get more hang time though. And then you head into like the splashdown. People said you couldn't feel much on it, but when I put my arms out on the rows that I was on, I could actually feel the water a bit. Then you head into this last outer bank, then an air time hill, then you're in the brakes. At number 2, we have got Nemesis Reborn at Alton Towers, and yes, it's better than Hyperia. This roller coaster is what I say is the full package. It's intense, it's whippy, it's got theming, it's got everything. This ride pulls up to 4 Gs and it feels a lot more, speeds up to 50 miles per hour and includes 4 inversions, including 2 whippy corkscrews, a snappy 0G roll and a vertical loop. Nemesis officially opened in 1994, which I got to do the original one like a lot of other people and got 128 rides on it before it closed. And I can officially say that I prefer Reborn to the original. It's themed. The eye on Reborn is so cool. The queue line is themed. The soundtrack is amazing, but I do prefer the original soundtrack. And Nemesis Reborn is just a delight. The shop's nice, the area's nice, the axes are amazing, and it's got 2 rides next to it, which is Nemesis Subterra and Galactica. That needs a retheme, by the way. I don't really like Galactica, it's a bit boring. And yeah, that's why I love Nemesis Reborn at Alton Towers. And yes, call me a madman, I have it better than Hyperia, but you ain't gonna do nothing about it, because it's my opinion. And finally, at the number 1 spot, we have got Shambhala at Portaventura Road in Salou, Spain. So, I could go on for absolute hours about why I love this coaster, but I'm not going to do that. So, number 1, the drop. It is incredible. The best first drop I've ever been on the roller coaster. On the back row, you just get absolutely whipped down that drop. The speed on your face, the wind just blows onto it. And yeah. So let's look at this. Look at the drop. On front row, it may look slow, but in person, it is fast. And then you go into this tunnel, which has a little bit of the rattle, and then you go into this massive airtime hill, which you get a lot of floater on. Then you head down it, and then you head up into this element. I forgot what it's called. But I do grey out on this sometimes. Well, I did in my 15 rides. I had a few grey outs. And then best airtime hill on the ride, the Spiel Hill, get absolutely whipped out my seat. And then another airtime hill. And then into the splashdown, which on back row you actually do get quite wet on it. And just a few more airtime hills. And then another one. Then you're into the mid-course. So there's not much left about it. So I'm going to talk about other stuff as well. The theming is absolutely incredible. You've got Dragon Car next to it. Like, when they both got lifted at the same time, you can wave at each other. Like, the Shambhala posters, the statues, the water zone, the China itself. The area is just absolutely fantastic. And yeah, get out to Portaventura in Spain and ride Shambhala. It is well worth a ride. And there we go. Thank you for listening to my top 10. Just remember that this is only my opinion, and don't murder me, please, if I've got a different opinion to you. And please, like and subscribe. It would really help my channel. Trying to reach a goal of at least 100 subscribers this year, maybe even more. But thank you so much anyway.